While everyone was peacefully eyeing the Samsung Galaxy S22 lineup, Samsung decided to leave everyone in a lot of confusion by dropping the S21 Fan Edition. S21 FE apparently tries to be an affordable flagship device having the DNA of the original S21 lineup, but at the same time, it also happens to be a competitor to the S21 and the S21 Plus. In today's video, I'm gonna compare the S21 FE to the S21 Plus. Those of you watching my channel for the first time, hit the subscribe button and help me cross 100k subscribers, and let's kick it off now. Like always, I would like to talk about the design and the build first. Design wise, both these devices are similar. The camera module accent on the S21 Plus helps the users determine the flagship nature of this device, while the S21 FE's cost-cutting measures keep its back unicolor. Both these phones use aluminum frame, and on the front, both use the Gorilla Glass Victus. S21 Plus is a big device. As you can see, it has a big screen, it's bulky, and it's also got a bigger battery. S21 FE is a compact, handy smartphone with a decently sized battery. In terms of the design and build, none of these devices is actually better than the other. It's just the size that differs here. Both phones are protected by IP68 certification, which makes these water and dust resistant, and both offer a stereo speaker setup, while none of these devices offer a microSD card slot. So you are either stuck with 128 gigs of internal storage or 256 gigs of internal storage. The real and technical differences take over when we talk about the screens. Both phones apparently use a dynamic AMOLED 2X screen with 120Hz refresh rate, and brightness nets are also the same. But there is something different deep inside. The S21 Plus has an adaptive refresh rate, and as you can see on your screen, its screen is capable of switching to multiple refresh rates, for example the 96 and 48 Hz when needed. This saves a lot of battery on the phone. The S21 FE doesn't have the adaptive refresh rate. It either runs at 120Hz or 60Hz. For this reason, its battery performance will also get hurt due to the same. The colors and contrast on both the phones are the same. Outdoor performance of both the phones is also the same. It's pretty good. Since both the phones offer a fingerprint scanner underneath their displays, the fingerprint scanner performance is also the same. I could not spot any differences here. And yes, the haptic feedback, well, it is really clicky and nice on the S21 Plus, and Samsung has definitely cut the corners on the S21 FE in this department. The S21 FE does have a good haptics engine, but not as good as the S21 Plus's engine. The software on both phones is Android 12 One UI 4. All features are the same. Both phones have the features like always on display, quick share, Dolby Atmos, extra dim, etc. The wireless DeX is available on both the sides, and you also get the wireless charging and the wireless power share on both ends. Camera apps are also the same apparently, but there are a few extra features in the app of the S21 Plus. We will discuss those features once we move towards the camera comparison. And yes, before I forget, the S21 FE also has an advantage here that it will go all the way up to Android 15 because it came out running on Android 12, and Samsung has this new software update policy of updating its phone for the 3 incremental updates of Android. Since the Galaxy S21 Plus came out running on the Android 11, it will only go all the way up to Android 14. In terms of the battery life, at first the S21 FE has a smaller 4500 mAh battery, and the S21 Plus has 300 mAh extra in its battery capacity. Its battery is of 4800 mAh. Because of the Exynos 2100 and the non-adaptive refresh rate, the S21 FE gave me about 6 hours and 13 minutes of the screen on time in my battery drain test, while the S21 Plus gave me a screen on time of 7 hours. You can check out my battery drain test, I just posted it a day ago. Both phones support 25 watt fast charging, but none of these brings a charger out of the box. Like I said, I am using the S21 FE with Exynos 2100, and my S21 Plus is using Snapdragon 888 chipset. The Snapdragon 888 is a far more superior chipset than the Exynos 2100, and for that reason, you will see it posting high scores in the benchmark apps like Antutu. The Exynos 2100 also picks up more heat than the Snapdragon 888, but I am sure the story would be entirely different if we compared the Snapdragon 888 variant of the S21 FE to the Snapdragon 888 variant of the S21 Plus. The Geekbench scores are on your screen now, and lastly the 3D Mark gaming benchmark scores are here as well. Exynos 2100 is not a bad chipset. Samsung fixed a lot of issues with this new breed of its Exynos chips, but it's still not as good as Snapdragon competitors. There is no reason for me not to pick up the Snapdragon 888 over the Exynos 2100. It clearly wins, and to prove this point, I conducted a small speed test between these phones. At first I launched some stock applications. These will also give you an idea of the animations on both the phones. The camera app was equally fast and responsive on both the phones. I edited a 4K video clip in the Premiere Rush application first of all. The video was rendered into a 1080p clip after applying a same effect on both the sides. The S21 Plus took clear lead here and won this test, but the S21 FE was not far behind. After this, I went ahead and edited a same video clip in the Viva video application. The S21 Plus was too fast this time and S21 FE lagged behind. The photo editing test starting with the Lightroom app was also a piece of cake for the S21 Plus. It just does everything within a split second. I then edited an image in the Snapseed application too to find the same results. The first game that I loaded in this test took me to the login screen faster on the S21 Plus. But for the rest of the games like the COD Mobile and Asphalt 9, the S21 FE was ahead. The realistic part of the speed test was the video and the photo editing, and that was swept by the S21 Plus, so I would declare it the winner here. The RAM management on both the phones is good. I do not find any issues here. Both phones did equally well here. Let me quickly give you an idea of the camera hardware on both the sides. The hardware is definitely different. As you can see that the S21 Plus has an additional 64 megapixels camera, and let's take a look at the camera apps now. Both phones have feature-rich camera apps, and 99% of the features are the same on both sides. A few things that need to be mentioned include the 3x zoom in the portrait mode of the S21 FE. The S21 Plus has only 2x zoom in the portrait mode. S21 Plus can record 8K videos too. S21 FE is limited to 4K. S21 FE cannot do 60 FPS videos in its ultra-wide mode. S21 Plus can do this too. S21 Plus has auto FPS mode for the video resolutions. S21 FE lacks the auto option too. In the settings of the S21 Plus, you will find the audio zoom mic feature. This is also missing on the S21 FE. So overall, the camera features on the S21 Plus are more powerful. Let's now take a look at the video, starting with the front camera videos. First of all, this is a full HD 30 frames per second video clip from the S21 Fan Edition and the S21 Plus. I'll be switching to other resolutions because other resolutions also change the voice recording quality of the mic, and once I do, you will get to know here underneath the screen. I'll mention what resolution the video is being recorded in. Remember that you guys have to be the judge for all these front camera videos. And All the video resolution modes for the front camera are common on both the phones. Let's switch now. The stability is going to get a little hurt because of 60 frames per second, but I still find it quite nice on both these phones. The S21 Fan Edition definitely has a flagship grade stabilization for the front camera as well. We'll get to know the real deal once we switch to the 4K at 30 frames per second for the front camera. Alright, now this is 4K at 30 frames per second from both the front cameras, and the video once again is quite stable. I find the S21 Plus's camera a little bit cropped in here. S21 Fan Edition has a wider view for this front camera video. While you're watching this comparison, make sure that you subscribe and drop your own thoughts and analysis in the comment section down below. I would love to hear you guys out. The highest resolution now, 4K at 60 frames per second from both the front cameras. I record these camera comparisons this way because I have to keep the videos as realistic as possible. So if you are walking in a park and you just want to record a quick video of yourself, or you want to record a quick vlog using one of these two devices, most probably this is the kind of video that you are going to record. And this video once again gives you a pretty nice idea about the stabilization, the voice recording quality, the color composition, and other factors that you may find important for the front camera videos. Like I said before, drop your thoughts and feedback in the comment section down below, and let's move on to the other parts of this full-fledged detailed comparison between the S21 Fan Edition and the S21 Plus. Okay, the rear camera videos are on your screen now. First of all, the stability is much superior on the S21 Plus. Look at the sky in both the videos. You will find its colors more realistic and kind of bluish on the S21 Plus, and slightly pinkish tone in the image of the S21 FE. The overall color tone of videos is warm on the S21 Plus, and it's slightly cool in the S21 FE. Details look equally good on both the sides. I think the main difference here is of the color tone only. The S21 Plus does have certain advantages here, that it can record 4K 60 fps videos in the ultra-wide mode too, like I said before. The S21 FE cannot do that, and I feel a little sad about this. The S21 Plus does have the audio zoom feature, like I said before as well. I do think that the S21 Plus is still a better choice for videography because of its stability mainly, and those additional features that I just mentioned, especially the audio zoom mic feature. It's a really useful feature. If you have ever used it, you know that how much useful that feature is. Watch these videos with patience, and I'll catch you with the photos in just a minute.
Like a light, lighting up in the dark. You make it right, I forgot how to act. It's so classic. Every time you make me nervous and I lose my words. It's been a while since I forgot the most simple words. I feel calm when you're around, like nothing can break me. Yeah, yeah, we are two peas in a pod, two peas in a pod, two peas in a pod, two peas in a pod. That we are two peas in a pod. Now I know why it never worked out before. High low, it would always turn out bad, so bad. But every time we start a fight, we always stop in time. We both know how to be gentle, never cross the line. I feel calm when you're around, like nothing can break me. Yeah, yeah.
Here is an ultra-wide image on your screen. First, there is a big difference in the colors here. At first, the S21 Plus has a cool color tone. The shadows are darker on the S21 Plus, colors pop more in the image of the S21 Plus. S21 FE has kind of a dull and pale look for the image. Things look really bright and lit on the S21 Plus here. In the normal image, the differences remain similar, but one thing I would want you guys to notice is the amount of details in the image of the S21 FE. It's relatively high than the S21 Plus. Look at the reds and tell me which phone's reds seem better to you. The reds look blown off on the S21 FE. S21 Plus also has a 64 megapixels mode if you want to capture detail-rich landscape images. Let's now take a look at a portrait image now. Equally good on both the sides, but I like it more on the S21 FE. The S21 FE's color tone in the portrait mode, I think it's much better. S21 Plus's image looks pale and dull. S21 FE's image is vibrant and also has better edge detection. Shadows appear too dark on the S21 Plus. Once again, look at the color of my jacket and the shirt. It looks better on the S21 FE because the elements are visible on this one. Here is a 3x portrait from the S21 FE and 2x from the S21 Plus. I wasn't able to take a clear picture. I don't know what went wrong here. Anyways, this just gives you an idea that the S21 FE has this advantage of taking 3x portrait images and the S21 Plus is limited to 2x only. Now a lot of ultra wide and normal images are coming your way. I would want you guys to take a look at all the upcoming images and drop your own detailed analysis and thoughts in the comment section below. The details of all the upcoming photos will be mentioned underneath. I'll see you with the indoor images in a while. Let's take a look at some indoor images. The main difference here once again is of color tone. The color tone can be a subjective choice for the users depending on your own color tone taste. You can pick your own winner. In terms of the details in the indoor images, I found the S21 Plus on the better side most of the times. I think it is because of the 64 megapixels camera and the pixel binning mechanism. The S21 FE's camera needs some optimizations to work better in the indoor photography conditions and also the low light conditions. The low light and the night mode photos from the S21 Plus turn out to be far more superior than the S21 FE. The S21 Plus's images at first have more clarity. You will find noise in the images of the S21 FE. S21 Plus also keeps more elements bright and visible in its images. There is a slight cool color tone in the images of the S21 Plus here. The S21 FE is taking kind of yellowish images with slightly high saturation. S21 FE's low light and night mode performance is just fine. I've been saying it since day one that it needs further optimizations. There are some instances when it can actually outperform the S21 Plus, but in most of the cases, the S21 Plus proves why it's a true flagship device. Especially the indoor low light and the night mode performance of the S21 FE is poor. At times, the S21 FE can't show any elements at all, while the S21 Plus clearly shows the elements in the dark. Also, in the indoor images, the greenish or yellowish tone in the S21 FE's images increases. As far as the selfies are concerned, S21 FE selfies look more realistic with high details and close to original color tone. S21 Plus takes very soft selfies, and I am sure many of you are going to like this. The edge detection in selfies is equally good on both the phones. Even if I set the face softener to 2 on the S21 FE, it still takes sharp selfies. You can definitely increase the softener's intensity to make the images look smooth, but I am kind of inclined towards the realistic look. Both phones are doing equally good in the selfies, and yeah, the details to me look much better on the S21 FE. Let me know which phone's selfies do you guys like more, and with this we reach a conclusion. Right at this moment, you can pick up the S21 FE and the S21 Plus for the same price in some countries. The S21 Plus is still a much better and superior device than the S21 FE in all the aspects, be it the screen, battery, performance, the cameras. Whatever you compare, the S21 Plus will come out on the top for 9 out of 10 things. So if you can actually grab the S21 Plus for the same price as the S21 FE, there is no reason to not to go ahead and pick it up. This device is good enough for another couple of years, but if the S21 FE is the one that falls in your budget, if the S21 Plus is too expensive in your country, you may just get the S21 FE. It's a super thin device, lightweight, and it's handy too with flagship features, and I think Samsung will definitely keep improving it further as the time passes on. I would love to hear you guys out. Drop your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe if you haven't yet. With that being said, I will sign off and see you all in the next one.